Finsterella is the fourth episode of the seventh season of Rugrats. This is a double segment, and this is technically all about Cinderella, but it's also all about Chuckie and Kimi's new family. Chaz reads the babies the story of Cinderella, and Angelica tells Chuckie that just like Cinderella, he has a stepmother, and Chuckie begins to worry that he's going to be treated nastily the way Cinderella is, and part of the story plays out as if Chuckie is Cinderella. We have Tommy as the fairy godbrother, which I thought was quite sweet. His outfit is very, very simple but very effective as the fairy godbrother, and I rather enjoyed it. And I think it's completely understandable that Chuckie would begin to feel this way, and that he would think that maybe Kimi is going to become quite nasty. We also see Kimi really standing up to Angelica in this episode and copying Angelica, kind of in a way to make fun of Angelica, which isn't very nice and doesn't really look good on Kimi. But this helps Chuckie to see that actually maybe these are the two stepsister figures, Angelica obviously not being a stepsister. So these roles are presented in a way that I think is quite clever, quite creative. It's fairly well done. I feel like Phil and Lil didn't necessarily need to be in this. They did have a decent role to play, but it could have worked without them as well, I think. But ultimately what's going on and what we, the viewer, know is that Chaz is going to pick up the adoption papers. And this party that the babies are all going to is actually a party to celebrate the adoption, and that's very obvious to us as the viewer, but not to Chuckie, who has apparently not been told about this. Kimi was told, but Chuckie wasn't. It's quite bizarre, but it's a really sweet thing, and I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was a really lovely episode. Also, Chuckie can speak. He can say no, and it's quite bizarre to hear Chuckie talking to an adult, even if he's just saying no. And he did that classic baby thing of saying no, but then doing it. Are you hungry? No. Eats the muffin. Are you thirsty? No. Drinks the juice. Really entertaining. There's also a slight difference in his voice when he speaks to adults, which I thought was quite good as well. I don't know if Chuckie goes on to learn more words, or if this is it, or if we ever even hear him talking to adults again. But certainly I thought it was pretty entertaining, pretty decent. Finsterella is definitely a really enjoyable episode, and one that I think did quite well to be a two-parter of this episode.